Welcome to the Vision Profiles podcast. Join us dedicated Apple Vision Pro users as we dive into everything from hardware and software to apps and the latest updates in the world of Apple Vision Pro. I'm Marty with a really bad throat cold, but I'm going to try and force myself through this show, and I promise I'll be better next time. A faculty member at a Midwest university, a podcaster, and an Apple product fan.
And I'm Eric Bolden. I work with IT, but my interest is in finding interesting ways to share content. Currently, photography of plants, birds, insects, and panoramic sequences.
And I'm Daniel Burkholder, a software engineer and technologist currently immersed in generative AI and AR/VR technologies.
And I'm Dave Ginsburg, the host of the Intouchable iOS podcast. I am passionate about technology, especially Apple, and use it in a real-world experience as a 27-year IT professional and iPhone subject matter expert. I learn new things about the Vision Pro every day.
And Dave's, if you're watching the video, Dave's got a new background because he's getting a new office, which is pretty
desk.
cool. Yeah, you showed us some pictures of it earlier on.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. You're going to feel like you're in a studio, I'm sure.
No, very much so.
Yeah. The only question I have from looking at the desks is where are you going to put all that stuff that you have that you had in your old office?
Yeah, well, you should see all the bins that are sitting off to the right. I'm going to have to purge, and there are some drawers and such, but yeah, I might be doing some more purging. We'll see.
Okay, all right. Well, you can follow the live stream on YouTube at youtube.com/@visionprofiles on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, or catch the video later on YouTube or the audio on any podcatcher service that you have. We'll drop out some Vision Pro notes. It's been very thin in terms of Vision Pro information, and when I look at other sources, they're kind of saying the same stuff we are, so we're not missing information that's out there. And it's kind of interesting because we will bring something up in our show and that will permeate the news cycle for another 5 days. Every other media will start talking about something that came out on Monday night that we mentioned. I don't think it's because of us. I think it's just because of the news cycle. But they're not giving me new stuff. So we have a little bit of a thin show. I don't know. We found some good stuff for you, so stay with us. News this week is we did not get a security update for the developer beta, or we did not get an update for the developer beta. We're still on developer beta 26.1, and we still have no details about it. Usually they have developer pages where they describe what the changes are, but Apple has not done that. However, Dave found that there have been updates across the board. And in particular, the one that we're showing here is a VisionOS 26.0.1 update, a security update for folks who are not running the developer beta but are running VisionOS 26. And Dave, why don't you talk a little bit about the updates, and then I think Daniel has some understanding of what this update is about.
So the security update's pretty thin as far as what in VisionOS 26.0.1. It's just a font parser it's impacting processing maliciously crafted font that may lead to unexpected app termination or a corrupt processor memory. It says an out of bounds write issue was addressed and with improved bounds checking. It was a CVE statement from Apple, so it went definitely to the security end of things, so it wasn't very important on the specifics. Across the board, all the other updates, there was a lot of different security updates, which I won't go into, but this is the specifics as far as what Vision Pro had today.
Yeah. And Daniel, do you have anything to add to this from what you can tell from the structure of what they wrote?
I haven't looked at it too in depth, but in many ways, reading that it's about maliciously crafted fonts to start corrupting memory. This isn't the first time that we've had weird issues around essentially text, right? Like I imagine I'm sure you'll remember times that there was some malicious text messages that could be sent to your iPhone, and then like it would make like Springboard reset, and it wasn't really anything necessarily harmful, but it was still indicative of, oh dang, like there's something here, and you can start going crazy. Um, so it's just good that it got out really quick. I didn't looked at the specific CVEs, so
Well, I can say last week there have been some really interesting patents that have come out. And when I started looking for material for this week, I went to Patently Apple and did some searching on there. And these were just patents that Apple had dropped. And they were patents that I think address some really interesting potential for Vision Pro. And I'll start with the first one, which is a retractable power system. And what they mean by that is that cable that comes to the battery will be put into a retractable system. And if you're watching the video, I can open up the link here that has the picture in it. And it's basically, one of those automatic windy things that attaches to the battery. And, like you'd put your keys on to stretch out when you need it and to retract when you don't need it. And, the patent shows how that's organized and put together. So the idea here would be that the device would have the ability to shorten and lengthen. And I know when I usually carry it in my pocket, the battery in my pocket, and you still have a lot of cable hanging out with that process. I don't know any excitement about this, guys.
Kind of, because I can't tell you the number of times when that little loop of cable gets caught on something as you're standing up or moving, and all of a sudden one end or the other is being yanked off of the table. And so, yeah, if they could prevent some of those accidental snag and drag sequences, that would be good.
Yeah, I just saw something in Reddit where someone had posted and said, hey, this problem with this cable. And they talked about the incident that you just suggested, that this thing's constantly getting caught up with it. So that's one, kind of simple. And then the second one is Apple Pencil patent introduces a context-aware squeeze and grip feature that supports spatial computing. So there's a look at it. Well, there's a look at the pencil. Let's put it that way. But if we go back to the article, it is really kind of interesting. It's filed a new patent. The idea is that you'll be able to use your Apple Pencil as a stylus, potentially with your Vision Pro. And it's really kind of interesting that we've got that going, or that is a potential aspect of it. Because, at WWDC, we heard about the Logitech Muse pencil. That was going to be a device that had all sorts of implications. And it seems like Apple's kind of stepped on that if this comes to fruition. Now, it could be different. It could have all sorts of other aspects to it because it's part of the Apple ecosystem. But the idea of having a pencil that you can use as a stylus and also as a way to interact with whatever's in the environment, it sounds pretty cool and pretty interesting.
Yeah. Where is that Logitech Muse? That's what I'd like to know. That's when they introduced it.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, I mean, I've got money. Come on, Logitech, let's go.
I think we all do.
Yeah.
speak for yourselves. But where,
Yeah.
where is the Muse? Where Oh, it's called Muse. That's kind of funny, actually. Where's the Muse? And where are, speaking of accessories, kind of tangent, where are the standalone Sony PSVR 2 controllers? Because I'm not going to
Mm,
Yeah.
buy a whole headset just to get them for my Vision Pro. Like, that's silly. Where are those? Maybe we'll find out later this year. Um, I do like all this, though, around the pencil thing. I think it was maybe. I don't know, maybe like the second quarter after the Vision Pro came out, the idea of the pencil, and I don't know, I was kind of silly, but I was sticking with the idea that maybe they would have pencil support. Now there's like far more, it's far more real. I just would like to actually get my hands on one to try it, because otherwise my imagination just goes to using an Apple Pencil in my Vision Pro to fling Harry Potter spells. So like I want like like
Nerd
imagine a
alert.
little light on the tip. Yeah, like you're walking around like Wingardium Leviosa. Woo! Um,
Uh,
I want to get my hands on one and try it out and experiment a
Dave,
little
you
bit.
can see the generational divide here. Daniel's
Yeah.
talking about Harry Potter spells, and you and I are like, yeah, okay.
I don't
Um,
even like Harry Potter.
oh, you just want to fling spells.
I mean,
All
it
right.
would be cool.
The third patent is, I think, the coolest of all of them. And this is related to Vision Pro in the sense that it talks about future smart glasses in a patent that Apple has put together. And if you look at it, it's the idea of having with the smart glasses, sort of having a lens with a liquid center. And you can then it will automatically adjust once it figures out your focal length and any other optical information that it can do. It will give real-time adjustments to suit the user's individual vision needs while maintaining a thin, lightweight form factor. And it's generally, if you look at the patent, it is really just a optic glass with four screws around the corner. And it's going
Yeah.
to kind of tighten and loosen those screws to make adjustments as are necessary to make adjustments to vision. And for those of us who are glasses dependent, it could mean, well, if we have that type of technology in Vision Pro 2, that could be the end of having to do optic inserts in a lot of ways. Although there probably could still be a market for that for the convenience and the specifics. But it could be the end of that. But definitely with the glasses, this is going to be a wild technology where from the pictures and from the design, you're looking at a thin form factor that is adjustable as a lens would be in someone's eye in terms of pulling and shortening and doing the focal length with it. Comments, guys?
I'd be curious to see what the how fast this kind of technology is. Because if we're talking about a smart glasses, um, and depending on how much correction it's doing, like pretend you're driving and it's doing in a way almost like a foveated rendering to like improve your focus on like further out things, right? Because you could start getting crazy, right? You could have like you could dynamically improve your focus on far things and close things depending on the context of what you're looking at, what you're doing. But what if that's slow, or what if that has an error and you're operating a vehicle? Stuff like that will be real interesting, like these second order like things we have to think about. But otherwise, like hell yeah, like because I want to see this. Like no more no more prescriptions, right? Like because you could just have this in regular glasses too,
Yeah.
not just about smart glasses. Like just regular glasses with a battery, and that's it. It's just auto correcting all the time. Um, it'd be really cool to see, and I would imagine they have it to a much smaller form factor. I remember this idea and seeing it in some meta labs like a long time ago. It was a stack of lenses, probably like I don't know, like a half-inch thick, and then they would electronically change those to do a vision adjustment. Um, so that a little more solid state in that sense, and probably faster, but also, I mean, that was a while ago, so I'm sure
Yeah.
it's much different now.
So prescription correction for different users without swapping physical lenses. So I could put my glasses on, or Daniel, I can give you my glasses, and we don't have to swap out lenses. They'll work or they'll adjust. So they're going to have some sort of real-time feedback, real-time adjustments for various focal distances or astigmatism correction, and then integration with gaze tracking or environmental sensors or to adapt optics dynamically. Yeah, how fast it's going to be? I don't plan to be driving with my glasses on necessarily.
Why not?
I think it has to know if I'm doing distant, if I'm looking distance or I'm looking closer. You know.
I hope not. You're driving with them.
Yeah, yeah. I don't see myself as using them for that purpose. Who knows?
Do you ever drive with your Google Glass on?
No, I didn't because I generally sitting next to me was my wife, and she would never let me do something like that.
She'd say, first thing I think she'd say, "What are you, nuts?"
Yeah,
I say,
and I would
yeah.
say, yeah, I am nuts.
Uh-huh.
Well,
No,
we already
come
knew
on.
that.
I can see 3/4. I can see 3/4 of my vision. Just let me wear my dork glasses, and but yeah, no, I never wore them with Google Glass. I could see the possibilities of doing it. So yeah, I think I think it will be a test to see whether or not they can make the kind of adjustments. And you're assuming the adjustments that we make as human beings are quick to begin with, that we're not distracted through other things in our gaze. So yeah, I think it's an exciting technology. It looks from a patent standpoint so much different than what we've seen from a structural standpoint with Google Glass or with the Meta glasses that are coming out. The thick kind of two lens. One has a screen and one has a lens in it, kind of mount. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. I got mixed reports on this, and I'm curious what you have found. There was a post to the community that AirPods 3 air quality drops with Vision Pro, and this was a Apple community support community, so it's part of the discussions group. And at the same time, we'll have the link in the show because there were other people that were responding to the same thing and concerned about the same thing. And they mentioned that the upgraded Vision OS 26.0.1 doesn't appear to improve the situation. Now, I saw this, and I also saw reports that the AirPods 3 are just incredible with the new headset. So, and this was not just from Dave saying it or other folks. It was just incredible that this was part of the arrangement. So I don't know what to believe. Have you guys tried them and seen a difference in it?
I'm wearing them right now, and I definitely notice a big improvement over the AirPods Pro 2. With the Vision Pro, yeah, I watched a little bit of a immersive video because I wanted to hear what these AirPods Pro 3 were going to sound like. I didn't notice any noticeable issues with the sound quality at all. I mean, granted, I mean it's different because when you have the Vision Pro on, you guys know that the sound that comes out of the speaker, you got to go like this to be able to get a full surround hearing of it, other than you hearing it from the speaker. But with the AirPods, I mean, it was a good experience with the two, but I noticed even more improved experience with the three.
So it's the combination of the isolation that the AirPods 3 give Plus, because when you're just wearing it without any AirPods in, you're picking up other ambient noise that's going on around the house and stuff like that. So, but the improved noise cancellation really does keep you within that environment. But you're not having dropouts, or you're not having, for the times that you've used it, you're not having issues with it.
No,
Nope.
no, no.
Eric?
Well, as I said, I only got a really short amount of time to use them before somebody decided they liked them better and it was more necessary. In the short time, yes, the quality was much better. I only was able to try them very, very briefly on Apple Vision Pro, and I had some weird audio briefly, but I have no idea if it was just like a network thing or there really was something there. I suspect if there is anything in one of the next two updates, there'll either be a firmware update or the OS will get fixed. So I'm not anticipating there'll be anything long term. When it works really, really, really well.
Okay. Um, I have yet to really combine them together, but I've noticed different sources are giving me different reports on it. So we'll keep our eye on it and maybe spend a little more longer time with it.
Yeah,
I'll,
to,
I'll
Next,
to
even,
me,
I'll even,
yeah, go
go
ahead,
ahead.
Eric. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dave.
uh,
I'll even do a comparison. I still have my twos and my threes, and I'll report back. I'll
Okay.
spend a little more extensive testing, see what we come up with. Because I tell you, the threes are amazing. I absolutely love them. I mean, I really do.
Daniel, are you using any of the AirPods?
I don't have the Pro 3s, I still have the Pro 2s, but reading some of these anecdotes, what almost does sound to me is almost sound like maybe like a negotiation, like a Bluetooth audio mode
Uh
issue.
huh.
Hmm.
Like it sound like reading these anecdotes, it sounds like the similar scenario where I might have like some big headphones on and then um, take a call, and then now the audio bandwidth is cut in half and it sounds awful for the call, and it's just for the call because the mic's engaged. um, it almost sounds like there's just some weird audio mode issue that's occasionally happening to some people.
Hmm.
Well, that's different. Yeah. Um. Yeah. There is some news. We talked about this a little bit last week. That Apple Vision Pro gets its first third-party sports documentary, and the Tour de Force. And as we mentioned, we talked about it last week, along with the other 6 videos that are coming out as part of it. But this is a nice article in terms of talking about the impact that the camera had on it, and the impact that the rain became and got involved in the process, and some tips on how to watch it, and what's coming next for immersive sports content. I don't know if you, as a group, have any reaction to this or the documentary at all.
No, I was very impressed with the way the video was filmed. I mean, you felt really there when it was going in different places. So, I mean, it was all influenced on the F1 movie too, because even though that wasn't immersive 100% as the movie, but you still had some of the trailers that were. So, I'm excited about this.
All right.
Um, it's also, I think, one of the first examples of the new cameras. The what is it? Cine Immersive. Can't think of the full name, but at any rate, the cameras work really well. The video footage is really nice, and there's supposed to be a lot more of it coming out. So I'm very hopeful we'll get a lot more high quality immersive video coming out.
All right. Poking around through Reddit. This was something that came up yesterday. Apple Vision Pro outside. and the person apparently creates a spatial gate so you can look at the video. We'll have the link, but it's kind of a neat little setup. Person
See
has
this guy.
placed windows around the area to look at it.
See, this guy wants the pencil support to cast the spells because later on he's doing magic and flinging. He's got a sword.
Yeah, he's got some objects placed around his backyard. That's got to be that big statue has got to be. Oh, and he's got a samurai sword.
When he picks up the sword, though, and I was trying to pay very close attention to it, I swear he was holding a real one with something being overlaid. It looked like he's holding it. Like, how is he holding? What did he unsheath with his hand? What was he holding? He was holding something in the real world. And like
Wow.
in the hilt of the blade has a bunch of special QR, like definitely some tracking codes on it. So he's holding something in the real world, but like I bet you he had that sword on like a stool outside, and then projected the little fun platform on top of it.
Yeah.
But still, like that's cool. Like that's really neat, and you can see how he's tracking it with all the codes on the hilt, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, this is a good 3.5 minute video. Now that's got to be a fake statue. That's not a real
Hmm.
statue that he has in it. And then he walks over to the portal. And I'm going to jump ahead here. And he's into another portion of his backyard.
It's kind of fun hybrid of a VR experience, but in an AR world.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of a nice little demo with that. I don't know if I'd ever do that, but it's nice to see people are playing with it that way and creating content. And
I feel like
I don't think I would.
emailed him.
yeah, I have
Is it?
to get a samurai sword first.
See, I'm waiting to pick a slow day at the coffee shop, and in one of the side rooms, basically set up a whole gallery with like a walking area and tapestries to form, like little walking arrow bits, and then you go out and then you get pictures hanging on the wall and some picture portals looking out into a panoramic picture. I think you could build out a full virtual gallery scene and then use guest mode to hand somebody a Vision Pro to then basically walk through that little mini gallery.
Yeah, we have some examples coming up in the show of a person who basically created gallery of cyberpunk stuff, which we'll talk about in a bit. This one I thought might be of particular interest to you, Eric. This is because it combines the use of the Blackmagic URSA Cine Immersive camera and then flight training, which I would love to get a good flight training app on the Vision Pro. I'm not sure. I mean, it could be that I wind up throwing up as soon as I use it, because I don't do that well. But I like to keep it slow and steady. But this is a article from Rogue Labs. It's on Digital Studio. Rogue Labs revolutionizes immersive flight training with Apple Vision Pro and the Blackmagic URSA Cine immersive camera. Creating new standards for immersive flight training. And I guess the app, our goal is for the Flight Sight app on Apple Vision Pro is to create a state of the art tool that enables helicopter students to experience flight training. Oh, I'm throwing up already just reading this. To experience flight training in a way that has not been done before.
Hmm.
It captures real world helicopter training scenarios. The helicopter shots required a wide 3D field of view of the cockpit so viewers can see everything in detail, including what the instructor is doing in their hands with their hands and their feet, changing gauges and a 180-degree world inside the helicopter's windows. Do you think this will ever make a commercial app? I mean, is this just going to be an enterprise app, or are we going to get to play in this world?
I'm not sure about
Think it,
consumers, but I think the FAA wouldn't mind having some 360 cams in
yeah.
cockpits to contribute to all the data they record, and then if they want to like
No.
have a better idea of what was truly happening, and then also just for educational content from literal real events, I could see them being interested in that. I don't know about on a for like consumer use though, but also why not? Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I've crashed plenty of airplanes on Microsoft's Flight Simulator. Dave, you're sort of our enterprise guy. Do you sense that this has more than just enterprise use?
It's possible. Again, I'm not well versed in this area of expertise when it comes to this type of software that would be used, but it really all depends on what the application is needed for in the particular enterprise that's using it. So I really can't really say. Either way, it would be cool if they had some consumer needs to it just to have some fun with it. But yeah, I agree with Daniel. I think something's going to be like the FAA or some more aviation type situation that would be used for this.
And it's definitely a nice middle ground. I'm sure like CAE is like just down the street basically from me. They do a lot of big simulation of like military aircraft and stuff, like the big rigs that actually move all around. And maybe you don't want to bust that out for every single lesson, but you can get a facsimile of that uh, earlier, cheaper, before you go get in the big rig.
Yeah.
Well, we have two articles that I think are more enterprise related. We'll start with one. And I am not a big user. I mean, I remember Webex, but Apple Vision Pro enters enterprise design work with Webex 3D tools. And I used Webex at one point and haven't used it for quite a long time. But apparently they're doing stuff with Apple Vision Pro. Cisco announced a new feature called 3D model collaboration for the Webex app in the Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah, Cisco and
Can't
Webex
see.
are pretty innovative on like applying new tech. Like they've applied AI technology into Webex. Now they're doing this, and this is so futuristic. I'm just envisioning, being on the call, right, and be like, here, and womp and show the model right in front of you, and spin it around, and go show them where to go, and pointing
Right.
things out. It's nice to see, so especially so fast from Cisco. Really, honestly, I mean, I wouldn't expect them
Yeah,
to move that fast.
no, I wouldn't either. I mean, the experience between Zoom and Teams and WebEx, those are the three big players. If you really must focus on those three. I don't use WebEx very much. I've used it before in a meeting environment, but I've always opted to Teams or Zoom. Really, have been the top two. Webex has tried as all they might to get out there in the enterprise. Some companies love it, some people don't. So I would love to see more expansion with AI and with Vision Pro on Zoom and Teams. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know where that is as far as that goes, but it's good to see that Cisco is, like you said, is jumping on this pretty quickly and seeing where it can go for these types of meetings, especially in WebEx's environment.
Yeah, I managed to pull up the full article. And just for the record, I want to let you know I'm very happy that they put the price of the Apple Vision Pro headset in the article.
Of course,
It's
The
a
mandatory.
must.
yeah,
Oh, come on, it's Apple Insider. What do you expect?
the brief the brief note that I had on it that I shared with you guys, there was a link to the full article, and I'll put the full article in the chat for folks who in the show notes for folks who want to read the whole article. And if you forgot what the cost of the Apple Vision Pro was, it'll be a nice reminder for you.
Actually, it's a
No,
friend of our show, Andrew Orr, wrote that article, which is good. He's got
Ah,
some good insights.
actually, if I could riff and merge two stories together here for a moment, actually, here's an idea. You're on a you're you're on a Zoom call or a WebEx call or whatever, and somebody's presenting something, or maybe you're presenting something, like you're a teacher and you're presenting, some PowerPoint or whatever, and then you want to go draw on it. So then you took your Apple Pencil and draw right on the thing, like you might a large chalkboard, whiteboard in real life.
Yep.
sure, why not?
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Well, I had another article that was sort of a summary article of what Apple Vision Pro might be expected to do for business. I read the article. It talks about the M5 chip, it talks about more comfortable headset, it talks about battery efficiency. And
All the
when I
sun
went back
stuff.
to it, Malwarebytes had blocked it because the site was riskware, as seen as. So we'll skip over that. I'll take it out of the notes for the show
Yeah,
notes,
that,
but it was
that
it was kind of a nice overview.
that's concerning.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and that's come up with that particular site before, and
Hmm.
I'm avoiding saying what the site is, but that's come up before with them that they're supplying riskware, and we run into that looking for articles. Those kind of things pop up, and it's like, oop,
Yeah.
can't use that one. I don't want to subject that to listeners who don't have clarity with that.
Yep.
Okay, we're moving through this, and I thought this was pretty cool. Coming soon to Apple Vision Pro, a mixed reality hit game. How do they know it's how do they know it's a hit game?
Well,
Little Cities
we
Diorama. Well, it says it's out now, so
yeah. There was another Little Cities app I remember playing before too.
yeah. So we'll look for Little Cities. Maybe we'll play with it and bring it in as an app for the next time we talk about apps in the next show.
Yep.
Yeah, City
This is something I
Builders.
alluded to earlier. It is the article that's mixed reality cyberpunk environment built in Vision Pro gravitas threads.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Mhm.
It's really nice that we can oh wow Eric every once in a while.
Huh.
You were
I'm gonna need a
talking
better.
about you were talking about your
Yeah,
coffee shop in the back room, and this is it.
that's pretty close. Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
this
Now I
came
gotta
up.
add a lot more to that.
Yeah, this came up on the Reddit subthread Cyberpunk, and somebody had
Huh.
posted this video on it that shows the different screens that they had put in an environment. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's fun to look at all of this. Now you have a challenge, Eric.
Yeah. I have to try
Report back
that.
to us.
Yeah. One of the last ones we'll talk about is, and I usually don't like to put YouTubers up, just because they're doing their thing, and but this one I thought was fairly worthy YouTube article, and you can spend some time with it. And it is Justin Ryan, who does a YouTube channel called The Spatial Insider, and 44 VisionOS widgets on Apple Vision Pro you'll need to try. So if you're interested in doing more wall widgets and things like that, then you might want to take a look at this link. It's a 9-minute video, and he says, you can do more than just the weather
Yeah.
with it.
Oh yeah, he's got album posters and
Bank.
Yeah, I'm
Like
just
what
kind of
banking looked like too.
yeah, I'm just kind of clipping through this video so you can see the different things he's sharing.
Yep.
What widget you guys using, and where?
That's a good question.
I'll start. I have basics. I have an OmniFocus and the things in my office and some photos on the wall here. And for whatever reason, I really like having a calendar and a clock in the bathroom.
huh.
Okay,
But that's
so you've just
that's a new one.
clarified. You've just clarified that you like to wear your headset in the bathroom.
I
You did.
I am fully open about that. Why not?
All right.
Hey,
Well,
I already told you that I wear mine in the bathtub so I can watch movies without having to try and balance an iPad on the edge of the tub.
Oh, I thought you were using it to watch Submerged.
That's too close. Too close. And then I'd have to have really cold water, and that would be uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, Ice Plunge.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, that's a thought.
with
Icebergs.
what you've just informed me, I'm never going to put Daniel's or Eric's Vision Pro on my head if I know
Oh,
they've
don't
been in
worry.
bathrooms and bathtubs.
That's right.
Well, the best part is why would I have had to touch it? I didn't have to touch it.
Yeah. I think for things like a calendar and a clock, that's the perfect use of a Vision Pro because a paper calendar or a paper clock, you're never getting that clean.
Mhm, mhm.
So this is just a virtual thing on the wall. It's perfect.
No, you don't get it. I don't care what your widgets are. I care the fact that you're carrying that thing into a room that's full of germs.
Yeah.
Well, it's already on my head.
You don't take
Bad
I
enough
you
you
mean,
bring
don't
your
use
iPhone in.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't use your phone.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
everybody uses
do.
their phone in the bathroom. Come on.
That's
I
why.
take
That's why you get all those tech calls about how do I dry a phone. It's because it's falling out of your pocket into the toilet. The
I'm
phones
very
are in bad
careful
shape.
about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we have one app for you, and then we'll close out the show. And Dave brought this app to our attention.
So, I'm sorry.
So,
I have to step away. So I'm sorry.
okay. Well, we'll try and
If
work
you
our
can
way
bring.
through this.
Sorry
And I
about
know
that.
you've got some people working there, so you need to
Yeah.
go deal with them. But that's cool. We'll talk about
I'll be right back.
Paradise. Paradise is a app that is a spatial car museum.
Oh yeah. Yeah. This was good.
And yeah,
Have you
it is
had a
very
chance to
cool.
try it?
I
I
need to
haven't. I've
though. It'd be
seen it.
cool.
I mean, I've seen people talk. I mean, I've seen posts about it.
So you get a few models, and then you can pay, I don't know, like $6 or something to buy the rest of them.
Yeah, yeah, it's
But
free,
there's
but
some that you
in-app
can,
purchase for $6.
yeah, and then that just adds a bunch more models. The thing that I like is, when you set the model down, it's one size, and you can pick it up and move it around. But then it talks you through. There are a couple other sizes of model, so you can make it bigger. And the thing I like is you can pick the whole thing up and then stick your head inside the car and then look around. So um, you can see the dashboard. You can see it kind of like from the back seat or the front seat. Just something you can never do with a tiny model car. You're never going to get your whole head inside the door. So this, you just stick your head right through the side of the car and peek, see what everything looks like, and then pull up the next model and go and look what everything looks like. It's yeah. I enjoyed being able to see the inside and the outside of the car.
Daniel, any interest for you on this?
Only from the see, like I'm a car guy, but I don't like car guys, and I don't care about a lot of cars at the same time. But I saw like being able to look in the interiors, stuff like that, like
That's
that
just
kind of
cool.
stuff. I really like though too, because that's like that real intimate experience with a vehicle, and also I just like to get ideas for how they lay things out, and like, oh, I
Hmm.
could take this idea and I could do it like that too. Um, and I'd love to see that actually with a lot like newer cars too, like perhaps eventually part of like advertising material, because modern car interiors are like really cool right now. So I'd love to virtually be able to go and draw a lot of different inspiration from those. But so the idea is there for sure. Um, the cars in particular, yeah,
Yeah.
but that's
Dave,
me.
do you have
So.
anything to add to
Yeah,
this?
yeah. I mean, what intrigued me about it is the fact that you've got a great view. Of course, I didn't pay for it, so you have to pay what, $5.99 to get unlock some of the other vehicles. One of them was a Jeep Wrangler, what I thought was interesting. Wasn't ready to do that yet, but some of the Alfa Romeo and some of the other vehicles, it was really wild to be able to just pull it out, and you can. I mean, I actually brought it down to the floor and was looking at it, and you can pull it up. You can change the scaling from small to big, or vice versa. I
Hmm.
think this is kind of a wave of a future for I mean, even if you get car dealerships that want you to get a better a sense of the vehicle besides going and actually seeing it. You're going to get, even before you go to start looking at cars and want to purchase something. I think this is a real good future with this type of stuff. Thing is, getting these dealerships to buy in on it. They're not really high on technology, honestly. I mean, they've gotten a little better, but every time I've had a car purchase experience, you're lucky you get one person who knows how to do all the technology, especially when you get the setting up like the Uconnect in the
Yeah.
case of a Jeep and others. So, but I think this is a good opportunity. The big three automakers in the U.S. are definitely looking at this kind of stuff. So I thought that was definitely an interesting app to take a look at. I don't know if I want to spend $5.99. I got the gist of what the three free cars were to look at. But I might twist my arm and do it. But
Yeah.
I think
Here's
if
here's
you
my problem. My problem with the app. It's not realistic enough. Because if I'm
yeah,
getting into a car, the gauges are going to have dust on it that I haven't removed. There's going to be a coffee mug laying on top of the dashboard.
yeah,
It's not going to be this pristine, wonderful
yeah.
looking car, uh, dashboard.
yeah,
So
where's the
See, I
mold? Where's the sun faded
yeah.
leather? Where's the
Yeah.
but you know what would be cool though?
I want a little Christmas tree that doesn't smell anymore, but we leave it hang there anyways.
Yeah, I need
Yeah.
a stack of little tree air fresheners that's like this thick, hanging from the mirror. Um,
Oh,
That
those
is a
damn tree air
classic car.
fresheners. That
yeah.
is. You got to have the,
You know what would
the
be
the
cool
tree
though
air freshener.
if the brands did it, and what if like everyone loves, well, not everyone, but people love playing with the car configurators. Like going on
Yeah.
Porsche's website and
Oh,
designing your 911 that you're never going to be
Yeah.
able to afford. But what if you could do it in a 3D AR that's dimensionally accurate? That'd be really
Yeah.
fun, actually.
Yeah.
you can even do side by side comparisons. So you could stick your head in
Oh,
one, then over in the other one.
pop up
Wouldn't
the
that be
two
kind of
different
cool?
colors and have it reflecting light with respect to the real world around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Well, guys, I think that's a wrap for tonight.
Yeah.
Hopefully, my voice will come back at some time. But I appreciate the listeners and the viewers dealing with my baritone voice.
Yeah.
Um,
Little
but
little
first
Barry
off,
White going there.
um, yeah. So, anyways, let me get back in focus here. Uh, Vision Pro Notes comes out shorts 3 days a week when we have the news to be able to share that on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. And you can follow the live stream, our live stream on youtube.com/@visionprofiles, Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and or catch the video later on YouTube or the audio on any of your podcatcher service. Dave, we're going to start with you. Where can we find you?
You can find me at In Touch with iOS, intouchwithios.com. YouTube channel is youtube.com/intouchwithios. I'm here on Monday nights. Tuesday nights, I'm on Mac Voices Live with Marty and Eric and a cast of thousands. And we record In Touch with iOS. We record In Touch with iOS on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific on our YouTube channel. Also on the Mac Show on the British Tech Network, most Fridays, depending on my schedule. And then also social media, I'm at DaveG65 on Blue Sky and Mastodon. Thanks, Marty.
Thanks. Eric.
Find me. Yes, I can be found on Mastodon at EA Bolden at mas.to. Of course, here Mondays on Vision Profiles, Tuesdays on Mac Voices for the Mac OS news of the week, and Thursdays on In Touch with iOS for iOS, iPad OS, and Mac OS. Really, everything just kind of rounds out the week, uh, covering all my OS bases.
And Daniel.
You can find me here every other week or so, and otherwise on social. It's IO Expander on Blue Sky.
And I'm involved in a bunch of projects. You can find me Gensius at mastodon.social, also Gensius, Jencius, at Blue Sky. But the projects I'm involved in are on the podtalk.net. Mondays here on Vision Profiles, Tuesday with Chuck and the rest of the gang on Mac Voices, and then Thursdays with Dave and Eric and some other great folks on In Touch with iOS for that kind of in that iOS focus, which is really cool. And then occasionally Friday mornings on the Mac Show. Got a couple of new projects that should be launching. A project called AI Productivity Workflow. And that is a podcast and video cast where I'm interviewing guests about how they use AI, in particular the hacks that they use for the workflow that they do. And I've just started that, and I've got a couple of shows. I have to get them through the whole Apple setup and run, and then that'll be part of the usual group on the podtalk.net. And also, first show recorded today for Fade to Chat, movies of the 30s, 40s, 50s, and early 60s, the golden age of cinema. Did it with Cindy Rotz, and we spoke about arsenic and old lace and had some fun with that. And shows will get better, we'll
Awesome.
get better. And I think the next movie we're going to do is the Tony Curtis, Jack Lemmon film where they're playing during, I'm losing it, Billy Wilder. I should really write this stuff down before I decide to
Probably
talk
should.
about it. Probably should. But it's another great comedy, and we'll talk about that on that show coming up. Our website is thepodtalk.net. You can email us at thepodtalknetwork@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from our listeners. And if you want to join an episode, just go ahead and email us. Our music, bumper music is Free Jazzy by Steve Combs, courtesy of the Free Music Archive. You can learn more about our podcast at thepodtalk.net. Spread the word to other visionaries. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.